Marilyn in front of you, but this is
I'm
Celia.
not Marilyn.
No.
Sorry to disappoint. Marilyn's over here. Thank
Hello.
you. Cool. Right. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Tēnā koutou katoa. He nohoanga ahau ki Greening the Red Zone. Ko Celia Hogan, toko ingoa. Thank you for having me here today. I think I'm lucky last, which is quite exciting. Does that mean I get an hour? No, okay.
No.
I'll keep it to my 5. So you've all had our submission, so we're just going to address a couple of those points and just reiterate what our thoughts are there. So we are a community organisation advocating for our awa Te Otakaro, and we advocate for ecological restoration for the entire Avon Otakaro Red Zone land area. Leading on from our submission, on behalf of our committee, I want to highlight a couple of points. We asked the Council to bring more of its spend into the Avon Otakaro River Corridor over the next 3 years. From our research, there appears to be no Council Avon Otakaro River Corridor regeneration spend in the first 3 years, just mowing, which is a $2.8 million per year maintenance fee. All the money budgeted for bridges, landings, etc. is from the government recovery funds, like the Christchurch Regeneration Acceleration Fund. This was money allocated by the Crown in 2019. There is no regeneration money coming from the Council till 24-25. We asked for those funds to come in starting in the next 3-year period. We asked the Council to engage more in a collaborative and co-designing process for infrastructure components in the Red Zone corridor. It is crucial that Council involve relevant stakeholders in those discussions so that, for example, stop banks flow seamlessly into regenerating ecosystems and with project partners. It's also worth noting that stop banks and regeneration go hand in hand. We also noticed that spend for stop banks was not clear or detailed enough for us to comment effectively on. But from what we have read and understand, we don't feel that the money that's allocated for stop banks will do them right. We asked the Council to outline exactly what money is allocated for the stop banks, what is actually covered as part of that, and what is not covered, and what the shortfall is, because we do believe there is a shortfall. We asked the Council also to prioritise lighting in infrastructure budgets, not just for the Avon Otakaro Red Zone, but the whole city. Lighting should be a primary consideration and is fundamental to environmental health. We initiated and still support the Dark Sky Park concept for the Avon Otakaro River Corridor and support the submission under the Urban Star Watch Christchurch. We asked the Council to also consider community-led restoration as an option for ecological restoration. This was not mentioned in the long-term plan, but it is a cheaper option and also engages local communities and groups like us. Some further feedbacks and comments in general. We asked that the long-term plan be clearer and more detailed with the financials. It was really hard to know what the allocation of funds were covering in a detailed way and if it would be enough. There was not enough financial detail that was easily accessible to public to make well-informed recommendations. We proposed just giving us a spreadsheet with what all the spend allocations, budgets and timeframes were. While the document gave wordy details, which were helpful to a point, it didn't give us the financial detail that we need to make informed recommendations. We need more detailed financials when we're essentially feeding back to you on where to spend the money. If those spreadsheets were there, then it wasn't easy to find, and that is some good feedback too. We would like to see better engagement and communication with general public and interest groups for the Avon Otakaro River Corridor. This is both about co-design and communication. There is a lot of expertise in our groups, not just ours, but some of the other project proponents, and experts who are often heading some of those proposals that are going to be in the corridor over the next decade or so. But they are not being consulted. Please be open to using us and collaborating. A communication example is, as Peter was stating, the governance model for the Avon Otakaro River Corridor. 2 years on and we're still in the same place, no governance model. It is truly disheartening and with a real lack of comms from the council about the real situation. We know there's stuff going on, but it's not being communicated to the wider public. As a volunteer community organisation, we noted that there were a number of documents that were difficult to know where to find the information that we wanted. Please remember that many of us don't have all the time in the world. We are volunteers for what we do, and it's not possible to go through all these documents with a fine-tooth comb, but it would be great if it was made easier for us to engage. Many of us juggling jobs, families and volunteer commitments, and we're also getting burned out, so please be mindful of this in the volunteer community of Christchurch. To finish, we ask the council to continue to represent the vision of the Avon Autocardo plan that was approved by the Minister Megan Woods in 2019, which prioritises ecological regeneration. This should not just be only for the green spine, but the entire red zoned land, and we would like that amended in the long-term plan. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for your presentation. There's obviously, look, I mean, I'm not going to make excuses, but COVID-19 did have a major impact on last year in terms of our capacity to work through some of the initial engagement with Ngāi Tuhurere. We have an agreement to work with them on developing the co-governance model, and I'm going to be raising this in my mayor's report next week. So we haven't councillors haven't had a chance to come up to speed with this either, and yeah. So all I can say is that the other side of it is that with the Three Waters in particular. Challenges and in relation to the water issues with Ngāi Tahu, it has been a very difficult time for both the council and Ngāi Tuhurere to commit the resources to the next phase, but we are both committed, and next week will signal just another step towards getting that resolved. We won't have a co-governance model agreed before before the end of the year. But before the end of the year, we will be back out to our community. I'm confident with a proposal that that people will feel good about.
Will there be an update in the short term to public? Because I think that's
we've taken on board that, and I'll have to wear this myself, but. Yeah, I had a few challenges last year that made things a bit more difficult for me as well. So,
thanks.
But we are definitely committed, and this is actually the opportunity to do something quite extraordinary and quite unique in the world. And I'm really looking forward to. I think this is a legacy project for the city.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Kia ora. So I think that's everyone who was due to have a submission today who's here in the room, and so I will now adjourn the meeting until 1 p.m. tomorrow. So thank you all very much.